who remained hid or they lied about their race. If they could pass for Caucasian or if they could pass for black, they took on another ethnic identity. But when they did that, they lost their culture, their culture, their culture, their culture. But when they did that, they lost their culture. They had to hide and pretend. So now today, people get really upset and say, well, you're not really Indian. Well, yes, they are. They had to lie about who they were. They lost, for lack of a better word, their public identity.
Directly that happened to my people I knew.
I'd love to hear everything, because guess what? We don't get to hear. It's hidden. Even like our truth, the fact that African Americans were in America before the Pilgrims. Even like our truth, the fact that African Americans were in America before the Pilgrims. That truth is hidden. That we are actually the Native American. The Native American.
The only way the Narragansetts could participate in elections was by identifying themselves as African Americans. The only way the Narragansetts could participate in elections was by identifying themselves as African Americans. Charles Ernest Hazard confronted officials who enforced this practice. His brother, Joseph, one of the oldest members of the Narragansett Nation, recalls the moment.
Indians couldn't vote. So he went up to the State House and he says, he saw the charter that the Indians can't vote. And he says, you're voting, ain't you? And he says, no. He says, I consider myself a Narragansett Indian. If I vote, I'm voting under Negroes could vote, but not an Indian. And he said, I consider myself a Narragansett, not a black, so I'd like to have that changed. So they did.
The people who want to be left alone are starting to get pissed off. And I pray that it never comes to a point where there is legitimately violence. But those people that want to be left alone, if you take away that life from them, you're in essence killing them. You're killing their soul. You're killing their spirit. You're taking away the things that they've worked hard to have. You're taking away their values. They're taking away their standards and the things that they've come to hold dear. You're taking away their stuff in a lot of cases. I mean, you realize right now in Britain, they're literally, they have about 12 suicides a week from farmers because they're taking their land. There's no more dangerous a man than the guy who has nothing left to live for. So keep poking and prodding and putting your hands in the affairs of people that just want to be left alone, and you're going to find yourself quite literally screwed, because eventually those people aren't going to take it anymore.
Very important that you understand Article 6, Paragraph 2, the Supremacy Clause, which says the Constitution and the laws in pursuance thereof and the treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. The judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in conflict or repugnancy is null and void of law. It bears no power to enforce, no obligation to obey, purports to settle as if it never existed. Unconstitutionality dates from the enactment. No courts are bound to uphold it. No citizens are bound to obey it. Now, that is one of the most important lessons that I can teach you on the Constitution, so that you can understand how strong this document is. You see. And when I go to the law library and I hit some of these law libraries, it's wall-to-wall books, folks. I mean, it's like I take people down there and their chin's on the ground. And then I tell them there's 3 floors of this place just like this, filled to the brim with books and books. It's very important.
So, Jordan Maxwell, what is allodial ownership?
Well, first of all, understand that if you're a U.S. citizen, you do not own anything. If you paid your house off, you don't own it. You have an equitable interest in the property, but you don't own it. Only way you can own anything in America, to actually own it, is with something called allodial title. A-L-L-O-D-I-A-L. Allodial, I think that's the way it's spelled. A-L-L-O-D-I-A-L, allodial title. allodial title means God cannot touch it. No one. Because it's absolute owned by you. But if you don't buy your car, your jet plane, your boat, your house, whatever it is, and have an allodial title, then you don't own it. And the authorities can come in and take your home anytime they want. It's interesting. Banks cannot touch anything that has a allodial title, cannot touch it. Government cannot touch it. No one can touch anything that is bought under a allodial title. Go look it up in the dictionary. Look it up in the law dictionary. Allodial title. Very interesting. The Queen of England, everything she owns is an allodial title. Means God can't touch it. Yeah. So, and Americans can buy stuff in allodial title. You just have to know how to do it.
I have no time to explain this. Our government has been charged with a crime, a danger to humanity. As of right now, we have no government. So the planetary judge is forcing our government to give the rightful owners back their land, which is us. The planetary judge is ordering us right now to stop calling ourselves Black African American. Also, to shut down Black Lives Matter. Because in the law dictionary, the word Black and African American is patterned as we're dead already. So the planetary judge want us to go by our nationality. Hebrew Israelite, Moor. America is not America. The real name for America is Tamari. You go look up the Freedom of Information Act to find out the other stuff you need to know. The reason why they've been charged with a danger to humanity is because the flesh pit that they found, the flesh pit that they found in Texas, they did a DNA sample on it. And the DNA come back 9 series. We the only people on earth that has 9 series DNA. Well, the Bible said we came from the dirt. So, with that being said, they've been charged with a danger to humanity because we have served 400 years as indentured service to this country. We're in debt because our government, Washington, D.C., is an entity that's not a part of our country. And they've been ordered to get off these lands. Now, right now, our own country is setting up a war against the citizens of the country. They don't want to give us our land back. They don't want to free us either. So that's why you're seeing all these factories being burnt up, trains derailing, water getting bad, because they know they have to give us our land back. They've been ordered to leave this land. The planetary judge has ordered us to stop paying bills, going to work, because they have to pay us reparations. Africa, China, and Russia is about to go against America for them to free us. If they brought us over here on slave ships, why are there no slave ships in museums? If America is not Egypt, then why we have an obelisk? Wherever an obelisk is built, the Ark of the Covenant resides in that country. What is the Ark of the Covenant?
Your attitude. Does that come complimentary with your shit service?
We the Ark of the Covenant.
This man out.
Covenant mean contract. contract ran up 67 years ago after we served 400 years bond men and bond women in slavery. Then the Messiah, Yahweh, came and freed us in 1979. And just like in the days of Moses, the Pharaoh does not want to let us go. So here come another mud flood. Praise Yahweh. I really have no time to